Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A video leading up to the start for The Walking Dead Season 8. First question for this one is, do we think that Morgan could convince Rick to allow Negan to live should the survivors win All Out War? And yeah, spoiler warning for this one, if you don't want to know anything about the comics and kind of the direction that they're going, because we've seen a lot of setup for this, had some recent questions about this one, and want to give my thoughts on it in a standalone video. And if you guys have any other questions for the daily Walking Dead videos, please send them to me through the About tab of the channel, or you can write them in the comments below, and you can thumb up other people's whose questions you like and you want to see in a daily Q&A video. So for this one, wanted to do this one and give my thoughts on how Morgan could affect Rick and do some predictions. So as you guys know, if you have not seen my death predictions video, I'll put a link for it at the end of this video so you can check it out and see who I think is going to be killed off next year in The Walking Dead. This one also falls in the same kind of category because, you know, I mean, really, this is a prediction-based topic, and you guys can write your comments below. We've kind of seen some setup for this already. Like I said, spoiler warning for the comic version, where you have Morgan who's building the cell, and I mean, that was pretty well set up. I mean, this is way back now. You know, like we're passed all the way through season 7, we're going into season 8, and you had Morgan with a cell in season 6, and it's already kind of come in handy for them, and it sounds like it's probably going to come in handy a lot more because we do have a part in the Walking Dead comic book series later where Negan is basically imprisoned. Pretty nice setup, I want to say, from Gimple and the crew on the Walking Dead TV series to have that kind of integrated in where it doesn't just kind of pop up out of nowhere, but you have Morgan, and he's held in a cell as well in Here's Not Here, which was season 5. So you have this kind of setup all the way dating back to season 5 of the idea or Morgan's philosophy to take prisoners, whereas with regards to Rick and the others, they don't really do that. You know, if you look at you know, Terminus and the cannibals, they just killed him, right? So they don't really do that. It's not really Rick's thing, and he's made Negan the promise, or he's threatened him, let him know that not today, not tomorrow, but you know, he will kill him. And even to the point where in the finale of season 7, it kind of scares Negan when he says it to him because Rick is so convinced, and that, I think, that level of commitment, that level of certainty, kind of shocked Negan. So he's just like, wow, you know, okay. But you know, even though the circumstances around them were totally, you know, Rick was totally had no idea that the others were going to come in and save him. He was just absolutely convinced this was going to happen, and it even kind of startled Negan in that way. So the question will come is, you know, in All Out War, could we see the death of possibly of Morgan? I think we will. I think he might be kind of our main, you know, major character death for the end of All Out War. He's been in the series since the beginning, and you know, I feel like that might be what we could see. As such, if he was killed off in All Out War near the end of it, could he influence Rick in his decision in the same way that Dale influenced Rick's decision with Randall, where he decided finally to let Randall go as kind of like a tribute to Dale because that was what Dale wanted. What if they did a similar kind of thing in terms of you know, Morgan and you know, Morgan wanting Rick to you know, not kill them all, but to give them a chance, let them live, and you know, if he's to defeat Negan and the others, take him prisoner, captive, and lock him in the cell that Morgan made. So I really like the idea to do a prediction. I think we will see something of the sort. Either Morgan, if Morgan's not killed off, he might be able to convince Rick, you know, being alive and just talking to him, letting him know that, you know, you should let him see what we're going to build and see how wrong he was, that kind of thing, for trying to oppress people and keep them down under the saviors. So that'd be cool to see. Either way, I do think we'll see something of the sort. I do think that without an outside influence, it wouldn't make sense for Rick to allow Negan to live at this point. Rick is so, after season 7, if we saw the entire season, he has such conviction that Negan will die and that he will kill him. In similar fashion to what happened with Gareth, Machete with a Red Handle at Terminus. Similar type of thing with Negan. He's so convicted, he really is going to, you know, he's certain he's going to kill Negan. It would take an outside influence, I think, to convince him not to, and I think Morgan might be the character to do it. So I really like the theory, and I think it fits, and I think that's probably what we'll see in season 8, or something of the sort, something like that. So write your comments below as kind of a prediction type video. Let me know what you guys think, you know, and whether or not you think that's what we could see. We'll do some questions for today's Q&A. And like I said, keep sending me your questions, guys. AJ Unlimited said, hey, Trev, what do you think Rick would have done if Negan killed Carl in the finale? So, I mean, I think Rick would have been really upset if Carl was actually killed. But I think that, like the conversation he had with Michonne earlier, that even if they do lose some people in All Out War, which he knows is going to happen, and if there's people that he loses that are very important to him, if he's killed or somebody else or what have you, the mission is most important here. The mission, the purpose is more important than any single person. So even though it would be absolutely traumatic for him, and you know, to lose Carl in such a fashion, I think he would still stay the course, and you know, maybe just give him even more fuel to try and kill Negan afterwards. But you know, luckily we didn't see that, so that's great. Hunter Terrell says, Dregan, what do you think of Alana Masterson also quitting social media due to bullying? Thanks, man, and keep doing an awesome job. So I saw this one, yeah. UndeadWalking.com did an article on it about her shutting down her social media accounts as well, you know, following after Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene on The Walking Dead. Similar type of fashion, it sounds like to me. I don't know. I didn't hear if she released a video or told people why or what have you. I didn't catch that. If any of you guys have more info, you can write in the comments so we can kind of see and for other people to see. But, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. Like I've been saying in recent videos, you know, things get hot for a while. They're not always hot forever. Walking Dead has been super hot the last few years. You know, so you get a lot of fans who maybe are getting a little bit burned out on it. You know, they grow up a generation. I remember in the 80s, growing up as a kid, when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was in its prime with the cartoon series, and then, you know, I think it was like 5 or 6 years later, it started to fizzle out, and you got to the point where people, you know, started tuning off. The group that liked it had actually grown up to the point where they weren't so into it anymore. I still liked it no matter what. And there's been different versions of the Turtles, and it's kind of made a resurgence the last few years with the new Nickelodeon series. But things get hot for a while, and they're not always hot forever. Sometimes people do get tired of it. But I would say, you know, bullying the cast and crew involved with The Walking Dead is really not the answer. It's really not, you know, it's not cool. Me just saying it here in the channel is not gonna affect anything. You know, it's what it is. But you know, trying to stay positive is good. And you know, I'm sure there's lots of awesome Walking Dead content for us coming in the next few years, and I'm sure it will do really well in season 8 because it should be such an awesome season. But yeah, bullying them online is not cool, and you know, I don't think it's a good thing. I mean, you know, having those accounts and that kind of stuff can help out their career, so it's you know, in their profile, so it's not good. So guys, don't bully the cast for The Walking Dead. It's not nice, and you know, it's not going to benefit them at all. So but I don't know all the details of what happened with that. I just saw the article briefly. A couple more. David Sizemore says, Trev, Q&A, do you think that Sherry will return in the TV series, since she never leaves in the comics? So this is kind of a different route they're going with the TV show. Then he says, thanks for all the videos. I'll watch them every day. So thanks, David, and thanks for all of you guys for watching the videos on a daily basis. I appreciate it. I do think Sherry will return. I don't think she'll be gone forever, but we'll have to see what happens because there's so many characters right now. There's so much stuff going on. I could see them even leaving her out maybe until the end of All Out War because they're going to be so preoccupied with this. But then again, if you brought her back in, you could bring her back in for a couple episodes, have that be a concentration for an episode or two, and you know, it could work out good and could be cool to see because she's kind of vanished, and it's always nice to have characters kind of come back and back into the storyline again. And you know, it's nice to see them. It's nice to see them return after they've been gone for a while. Cynthia Gibson says, Trev, do you collect other horror figures, not just Walking Dead? So not really for Cynthia. I don't have too many. I have a few like zombie characters. I have like some Day of the Dead figures in a bin downstairs. Dr. Tongue is a cool one with the missing jaw, so his tongue just hangs out. He's a zombie. He has no jaw, and his tongue just hangs down. But I don't have too many. Like I don't really have a Freddy or Jason. I don't really collect those. I don't have like an It or anything like that. For me, it was mainly comics. The Walking Dead just happens to be my favorite horror you know, series of all time. But aside from that, I'm not too into horror. Like I don't watch just, you know, I'm okay. Like I don't have anything against horror movies, but I don't watch them like every day or something. I'm not like, you know, into that so much, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like that. I don't go see every horror movie because there's so many. They're pretty easy to make, right? Their budgetary in terms of budget can be low. So there's so many horror movies out there. So I'm not too into too many other horror series but The Walking Dead. But write your comments below, and you guys let me know what you think about horror. Or any of you guys like horror geeks where you just love everything horror, write your comments below. Let me know. I'd like to see it. I don't have anything against it. I'm more of a comic geek myself. Last one will be from Dr. Smarty Pants, who says, "Oh my God, I'm excited for Fear the Walking Dead, Trev. My question is, what would you think if we got 5 happy episodes where nothing is happening on the ranch?" I hope that's not the case, LOL, but could the ranch be the show's version of Hershel's farm? How long will it take before it gets attacked? I am guessing Nick escapes from his captors and alerts the ranch to their existence, giving them time to get ready for when the people find the ranch and attack it. So, yeah, you got it exactly. If you guys haven't seen the stuff for Fear, I've done a few videos on it just recently. But yeah, it looks good. We're getting really close now. We got a few weeks here. But yeah, they can't spend too much time there. You know, I thought season 2 was paced out pretty good, but a lot of fans didn't like it even then. So if they were to spend like 5 or 6 episodes just on a ranch, just chilling like they did in season 2 of The Walking Dead, it would not work at all. I mean, I think one of the problems with Fear, or the reason why a lot of people don't like it, is because, you know, you already have The Walking Dead, so it's been kind of done before, and now they're kind of adding on an additional with new cast of characters. They're kind of starting over again with a new group in the series, and you know, people have already seen a lot of it, so it's maybe too familiar for some people. Other people don't like the characters so much, so we don't really have like an exact equivalent to Rick Grimes in it. Travis is probably closest. So yeah, so we'll see how people respond this season. In season 3, I'm excited to see what people think of it. I'll be reviewing every episode as usual. But, you know, having kind of a peaceful time in Fear is probably not a good idea, and I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, because the show is already kind of having issues as it is. They got to bring the heat. They can't really be, you know, kind of having like peaceful, relaxing time, something like that. That'd be really bad. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about all of these, and you know, what could convince Rick to allow Negan to live should he decide to do so. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share. You can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, don't forget, guys, I appreciate it. Please subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. Maybe tomorrow, if not the next day. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.
You better subscribe.